Good afternoon, good evening. We were going to start the Anchorhead broadcast stream, but no one's here. I thought Zach was going to be here. Oh, I'm sorry. No one's here. I thought Zach was going to be here, but he's not. So we're going to listen to Witch Mountain Bridge again. Hello. There's one, two. Zach, if you're in the chat, get in the chat and say something. Can people not be in the chat? Oh my gosh. Okay. Um, End that. Okay. Good evening. It says I have two viewers, but uh, they can't seem to be around. Can either of you, uh, do you see if you pull up to the top left, does the blue talk bubble icon for the chat appear? Zach, are you on your phone? Oh, okay. Huh. Um, Very odd. Um, are you viewing it through Hangouts or through YouTube? Because I think it's possible to view it through YouTube, but I don't know. Control room. This is going to be great when someone tries to view this tomorrow morning to see what they missed, and what they missed is a bunch of mucking around with the thing. Um, can you try leaving the stream and then coming back? Who's the other viewer? I want to know who this second viewer is, but there's no way for them to make themselves known to me. Zach has now successfully joined group chat. Well, what? Yes, you're supposed to. Oh, you're commenting on the thing? No, that's not the chat. That is not the chat. That is commenting on the event, which is a separate concept. Yeah, you're supposed to be in the Hangout. Um, this is, yeah, you gotta, let's see if it's still in here. Okay, I'm tweeting the link again. I'm tweeting the link with no context. So, yeah, the most recent, oh, Heidi can't see this. This is really wild. Um, we're gonna wait for Heidi to get back. Yeah, okay. Uh, This is some great internet video streaming. Let me tell you what. Um, Heidi, if you're there, try and get into the group chat with the blue button in the top left. Heidi is not here. An inauspicious start to the Anchorhead streaming experiment. And this is all going to be archived so that everyone who missed it can live the magic later in life. Uh-oh. Wonderful. Oh, don't do that. Good grief. The link to the G Plus post is only causing horrible problems. So stay away from that. I'm going to delete the link. No, because people are going to be watching there because someone retweeted it. We're screwed. It's like in that movie where they were screwed. Hello, viewer. I suspect that you are a viewer viewing us at the Google Plus. No, this is the thing that I'm already at. The Google Plus post that I posted earlier. The thing you should do is click on the thing and get into Hangouts somehow, because I can't see the thing. Oh, it's Sam. I can tell from here that it's Sam. There's Sam.
Hello, how's it going?
Hey, it's Sam. Sam knows what's up.
Do I? It's the first I've heard of it.
Well, you're having quite a bit less trouble than another guest was having. Let me put in some earphones.
So,
Hello.
Okay, I am not entirely clear what you are doing here. You're live streaming Anchorhead, is that correct?
Yes. I mean, that's the plan.
Okay, what is our role? Is our role to, laugh at you and possibly point, or is our role to also play?
I think that, I don't think that you should have your own version of the game open.
Right.
Because then we diverge and it would be a mess. But I'm going to be reading the text out loud, and if we'll talk about it as we're playing, and it'll be a great that kind of thing. So something in between pointing and laughing and playing.
Handful. The other thing, I guess, is in the previous Clash of the Titans things, it's kind of assumed that people have played the game already, or sort of, I guess. Because for Club Floyd, which I'm more familiar with, there is a rule that you do not supply commands if you have already played the game, because that would ruin the purity of the experience. Yeah, I do not want to mess with people's mojo.
I've played Anchorhead, but I've forgotten most of it.
I'm kind of in the same boat too. I've played it a couple of times, but it is these many moons ago. So
I think that I think we can play it pretty. People can submit whatever commands they want and say whatever they want. And if a person is really worried about being spoiled by something, then this would be a bad venue for them to experience the game, I guess. Because if one of us remembers, oh, you better save before you do this for a spoilery reason. I
Well, in
don't want.
Anchorhead, you need to be saving all the time anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
that's not super spoilery. Okay,
Uh,
I'm
yeah.
going to go and get and replenish my beer, and then
All right.
see what the state of affairs is.
Okay. Um, do we have Heidi yet? I'm gonna feel bad if Heidi couldn't
I do
figure
not
out
see
what's going on.
anyone of that name.
Oh man.
No,
Okay.
it's just like
Well, this is the list
it's
of.
gonna be super awkward if it's just you and me, dude.
Well, it's you and me and Zach. Hey Zach. Hey Zach. He's over there in the
So
chat.
there's just so he's aware of us. Just
You
can
should
we
typically
distinguish you from a 12-year-old Ukrainian boy?
know.
So far, not looking good.
Zach is 12-year-old and he's from the Ukraine, but we shouldn't let that cloud our judgment of him.
So you are my designated excuse for not like working on a game. So it's your duty to be entertaining. You realise?
Oh, I've said I can do an entertaining thing all the time. Hold on.
I believe you.
Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna pull up this in here. No, I'm gonna drag this into here. Yeah, we've been trying to get this put together for like half an hour, and um, it's been half an hour of people yelling at the screen, trying to figure out whether me yelling at the screen, trying to figure out whether stuff is working.
So
And
every hangout ever.
yes, but if I understand correctly, this will be archived on YouTube for a person who missed it to
Oh
see
god.
half an hour of people of me
Like saying,
yelling at a
is this
screen.
thing on?
Yeah.
Okay. If I
Okay.
if I had known I was being recorded, I would have looked prettier.
I think you look very pretty, Sam. Curled up on the couch there.
I'm not actually curled up on the couch. The couch is really behind me.
Oh wait, that's
So
you?
yes, this
Okay.
here is me.
The guy in the
That
glasses
there
is
is the cat.
Sam.
On which, yeah, the cat is
Oh.
not me.
We are gonna get Heidi in here. I'm gonna feel bad if we start without her. So
Yep. In which case, I will sit here and implement things until something happens, and you'll get to see my gurning while coding faces.
what?
Be a deep insight into my creative process.
I can. Okay. Yeah. See. Oh. All these people. Oh wait, something just happened.
No, that was me.
Oh, okay, good.
That was the noise that Inform makes when I search for something and find it.
Have you had any issues with searching in the new Inform?
In what? Within the text or within
Oh,
the?
within the source.
I
Um,
have not. What?
I I think in the Mac build there's a problem with find replace.
I'm using the Windows build,
All right.
so you can. Is that? Oh. Is that Zach? Hello,
That's Zach.
Zach.
Hello, I'm
He's a
Zach.
12-year-old Ukrainian boy.
12-year-old from the Ukraine. It's true.
You look very well developed. Obviously, like the life cycle of Ukrainians is different.
Oh yeah, we're way, way ahead of Western countries. You know, I got nothing.
Because
Okay.
it's a different time zone.
Still no Heidi though.
Uh,
I don't know if she's coming.
is it
Yeah,
the kind of thing?
because we definitely need to break out of our mold of brunette white guys with glasses.
So tell me about Anchorhead. I only know
You've not
uh,
played Anchorhead?
I have not played Anchorhead.
Wow! Oh, this is going to be wonderful.
I'm
So,
not a heavily interactive fiction person. I mostly just play the beta versions of Ryan's games.
okay, so Anchorhead is, I think it's not an exaggeration to say it's one of the most beloved interactive fiction games of all time. I think it topped Victor's list a couple of years ago. Is that right?
uh,
Like 2, 3 years ago, Victor Heischberg's compiled a list of people's favorite interactive fiction ever, and I'm pretty sure Anchorhead came out on top. I could be wrong. Have your research people do something about that.
it has
Um,
an alphabetical order bias.
no, it was ranked. It was ranked by actual voting of people.
But psychologically, people favor things that come first in the alphabet, like Ashwell.
Which is why I am the acknowledged king of all interactive fiction. I'm unclear about this.
You were second in the list, right under Anchorhead.
I think you're mixing apples and oranges here. Anyway,
Well,
um, no, it's Lovecraftian horror. It's sort of it. If you want to talk about big classic games with lots of puzzles that have a sort of long progressing gated experience, Anchorhead is pretty much it. It is the 800-pound gorilla of big, um, slowly progressing, unfolding, location-based games.
Gotcha. So we're gonna be here for about 12 hours, is what I'm hearing.
yeah.
Yes, I do not expect to finish tonight. Um, it is. I think. Yeah. I think it's sort of counterfeit monkey-sized. I'd say, more or less.
If you know what you're doing, it probably takes several hours to get
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
Uh,
I. Yeah.
if
It is.
you don't know what you're doing, it probably takes hundreds of hours to get through.
But yes, it is absolutely a classic, and like it's one of those kind of games which you sort of kind of need to play the basic literacy reading. So there are people who hate it. They do exist, but they are not very many.
Uh, this is, um, I think, Zach, do we need to give up on Heidi?
I don't know if she's coming because she hasn't responded in a little while, so she may have directed
Okay.
her attention elsewhere.
It says that we have one viewer, and I tend to think that that's Heidi watching from the Google Plus post, despite our admonitions to join the Hangout instead.
That may be wishful thinking.
Well, then who is the one viewer?
The NSA.
It's not me anymore.
Yes.
I was watching and participating at the same time for a little while, so that was kind of I was
That was
getting
gross.
it was awkward. I was getting a pretty big echo. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? That's what I'm looking for. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna step away for 2 seconds and give Heidi one more chance, and then we're starting for real.
No, what happened?
The exciting bit where I try and figure out what games Zach has on his shelf.
Zach, tell Sam some of the games you have behind you.
The games I played?
No, the games behind you.
Oh, my board games. Oh, I don't know. Can I adjust the camera? Let's see. I'm kind of scared of this camera.
Okay, that's a healthy attitude.
I can't even. Oh, I don't even know the top row. Wait. This part. Look at all those games. It's not that many games. I know people have a lot more. I've got. See if I can do this right. I can do. Okay, there we go. 7 Wonders. A really good game. Race for the Galaxy. Oh no, I love Race. I love Race. Pandemic.
Yeah.
Dominion, which I like that because that's a copy that I got in a thrift store for like $5. So that's pretty good.
Well spent $5.
It was very well, yeah. I have Arkham Horror, which constitutes most of my Lovecraft knowledge, so we'll see how well that carries over.
Yeah, that'll do. That will do. Anchorhead was in fact like my total introduction to Lovecraft, and it's actually better written than most Lovecraft, including the Lovecraft that Lovecraft actually wrote. So, yeah.
What else we got up here? I just got Small World. I haven't played it yet.
I have not played it yet either. Even though it's constantly around.
That's a game called Nostra City, which is kind of neat. It's all very, very monster. What is that one called? I gotta look. Monsters Menace America. It's a not a very good giant monster game, but it has really cool pieces. And then there's a copy of Cranium after that. The bottom row there is a copy of Camel World. Campaign Manager 2008. I went to an auction last year and I got a little crazy. I've got Citadels, Gosu, The Resistance, a game called Alibi, which is like Clue if you wanted Clue to have spreadsheets.
Every game should have spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Why does anyone understand this?
At some point, somebody decided Clue was not. It needed more complication, so they did that. Underneath that is the Catan card game and its expansion. Actually, next month I'm going to be going again to a con. I'm probably going to do the same thing and fill up the rest of my shelf with some good games and some random games is what usually ends up happening. So that'll be fun. can always use more games.
Like game acquisition lately has most been. Oh, and here's Jason. Hey, J-Mac, how's it going?
Hey, Jason.
Hey.
Hello. Nice.
Okay, we have diversified. We now have one dude without glasses.
Hey, it's working.
Oh wait, I can come back in a minute.
No! Make us feel good about ourselves.
All right.
I would feel more comfortable if we were all wearing glasses.
Okay.
You know what? I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
This is great because I said originally that we were going to start at 10 o'clock. And here we are.
And it's only 8 on the West Coast, so you're good.
Well, you don't count. Hey, okay, looking good.
Thank you.
Jason, what time zone are you in?
I am in
Boston,
Eastern
right?
time.
Okay.
I'm in the Boston area.
Okay. That's enough humans, white dudes with glasses. We can go ahead and start. I'm going to say. So, I have the game open. I think I'll just show you my face instead so you can watch my mouth say all these words. Here's the epigram. It says, the oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. That was said by H.P. Lovecraft, and it's the first sentence we get to read in this game called Anchorhead. Oh, there's a lot of words. I forgot there was so many words to read.
Okay,
That's Dandelion McGee. Hello, Dandelion.
Fear of the unknown is rapidly escalating, but
Hey. So I was just about to start reading the text of the game. November 1997. You take a deep breath of salty air as the first raindrops begin to spatter the pavement, and the swollen slate-colored clouds that blanket the sky mutter ominous portents amongst themselves over the little coastal town of Anchorhead. Squinting up into the gathering storm, glowering storm, you wonder how everything managed to happen so fast. The strange phone call over a month ago from a lawyer claiming to represent the estate of some distant branch of Michael's family was bewildering enough in itself, but then the sudden whirlwind of planning and decisions, legal details and travel arrangements, the packing up and shipping away of your entire home, your entire life. Now, suddenly, here you are, after driving the past 2 days straight, over 1,000 miles away from the familiar warmth of Texas, getting ready to move into the ancestral mansion of a clan of relatives so far removed that not even Michael has ever heard of them. And you've only been married. What?
Sorry. We are a Texan.
Yeah, we're a Texan.
This is a detail I do not remember. I feel this game would be strengthened if you adopted a Texan accent throughout.
We'll not do that.
Alas.
You've only been married since June, and none of this was any of your idea in the first place. And already it's starting to rain. I can do a bad Texan man accent, but this is going to turn out to be a woman. These days, you often find yourself feeling confused and uprooted. You shake yourself and force the melancholy thoughts from your head, trying to focus on the errand at hand. You're to meet with the real estate agent and pick up the keys to your new house while Michael runs across town to take care of some paperwork at the university. He'll be back to pick you up in a few minutes, and then the two of you can begin the long, precarious process of settling in. A sudden belch emanates from the clouds, and the rain starts coming down harder. fat, cold drops smacking loudly against the cobblestones. Shouldn't it be snowing in New England at this time of year? With a sigh, you open your umbrella. Welcome to Anchorhead. The first day, there's another epigram. I was far from home, and the spell of the eastern sea was upon me, said H.P. Lovecraft. So, this is an interactive Gothic by Michael S. Gentry. We could type help or about for some useful information, but we're not going to do that. Blah, 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 release number 5, serial number 9903206, inform version 6.15. Outside the real estate office, a grim little cul-de-sac tucked away in a corner of the claustrophobic tangle of narrow, twisting avenues that largely constitute the older portion of Anchorhead. Like most of the streets in this city, it is ancient, shadowy, and leads essentially nowhere. The lane ends here at the real estate agent's office, which lies to the east, and winds its way back to the center of town to the west. A narrow, garbage-choked alley opens to the southeast. So, we should let Zach drive
Oh
to
no.
begin with,
Because
until we tire of his...
the first puzzle, so we should allow him to hang himself.
So, let's see. I've got the real estate office, the alley. Sorry. Let's, oh man, I'm really bad at IF.
We should look at garbage. That's a good idea.
I always start with inventory.
Let's do that.
Let's do inventory.
You are wearing your wedding ring, your trench coat, and your clothes. In addition, you have in your hand your umbrella. The pockets of your trench coat are empty.
Well, that's not as exciting as I could hope. But, so I'm in front of the real estate office. Let's go. Didn't you pay attention to the directions? Which direction is the opposite?
The office is east,
East.
and the rest of town is west, and the alley is southeast.
Well, then let's go east.
The door to the real estate office is locked. Who would have
Oh.
thought? Is this a map? This is another. This is an instance of the game.
Yeah, if you just, not that we don't like staring at you, Ryan, but if you just wanted to follow along with the text.
It's definitely useful for like searching the text for things.
Also, I'm plugging my local IF user group this way because
Ah,
the old People's Republic, BRIF.
Okay. What did I do?
Also, as our token New Englander, you are J-Mac, you are obliged to provide insights into the accuracy of the
Yes, well, I think that this game did for something being written in 1997, did a very excellent job, looking forward and predicting global warming where there wouldn't be, in fact, any snow anymore in New England. So, good job, Mr. Gentry. Man, I don't know. I still want to. Have we examined the trench coat? Have we just looked at our stuff?
yeah. Let's look at our stuff. I don't think we've examined ourself yet, even.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
And welcome, Christopher. So,
Hi, Christopher. I'm going to examine the trench coat first. You bought this coat.
I'm friends with J-Mac.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey, Gordon.
During your honeymoon in England. It's a genuine London fog. In addition to looking very cool, it has several deep pockets in which you can fit just about anything, and will. In the distance, you can hear the lonesome keening of a train whistle drifting on the wind.
Wait, that's when you examine your trench coat?
Yeah, yeah.
So looking at your trench coat makes a train? Oh, that's that's
It's
rough.
a random message.
I think the train stuff is on a timer, actually.
Yeah.
It is?
Uh,
Okay, yes, it is. Third turn.
Examine Me gives us this. You look good, considering. A bit rattled by recent events, perhaps, but well poised and collected all the same.
So a very expanded version of as good looking as ever.
But it has a certain there's another dimension to this
It does change
because
the course of play, yeah.
the author is kind of talking about his actual wife.
Yeah, given that the husband in the game is called Michael.
Yeah.
I never picked up on that, actually.
I don't. I was never very clear about how much it was about. I mean, they are not extraordinarily deeply developed characters. So
I think I would guess that Michael and his wife did live in Texas and probably are still in Texas, and that the whole traveling to Lovecraft land thing is just weird. Like, that's where the fantasy starts. And I doubt that they resemble their real life counterparts.
without wanting to get too far into spoiler land,
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah, let's continue instead of talking about it. I'm going to examine my clothes. A tasteful ensemble from Ann Taylor in muted browns and olive greens. You've been an autumn person since you were old enough to match your own socks. And the ring, staring at your wedding ring like that, tends to make you sentimental.
So we do not have an objective clearly defined yet, do we?
We do. We need to get into the real estate agent's office, which is to the east.
Well, there's an alley back there. I imagine that we could seek out.
Here we're in the alley. This narrow aperture between the two buildings is neatly blocked with piles of rotting cardboard boxes and overstuffed garbage cans. Ugly, half-crumbling brick walls to either side topple oppressively over you. The alley ends here at a tall wooden fence. High up on the wall of the northern building, there is a narrow transom-style window.
Well, clearly we need to examine the window.
I'm going to examine it. It's about 18 inches wide and a foot tall, with hinges along the top that allow it to swing out. It's currently closed.
So I missed the prologue text. Can we not just walk on into the front door of the real estate office?
It seems to be locked.
Oh, we already tried that?
Yeah. I didn't try knocking on it, and now I have an urge to knock on it.
Yeah, that's what came up in my head. I was like, yeah, we should try and figure
Yeah. You rap on the glass sharply, peering through it into the dark room inside. Nobody answers. Strange. You just talked to the real estate agent, Miss Benson, you think it was, yesterday. She was going to meet you here. But she didn't.
Can't trust real estate agents.
There's another game waiting to be written about what happened to Miss Benson.
All right. Well, back into the alley with us then, because clearly we have to break in. There's no other possible option. We've exhausted every.
An alley was mentioned. Clearly, there is a purpose to the alley.
We should.
No go home and try later option. You can't just go back.
There
to
is
that.
that option.
We don't have the key to the house.
That's true. There is no house to go to at this point.
Oh.
Oh, there's a
What we
house.
should do is call Miss Benson on her cell phone in 1997.
This takes place in the wizarding world of Harry Potter. There are no cell phones.
Oh God. Crossing.
Can we? Okay, so high up window. Can we boost ourselves up somehow? Can we stack the rotting piles of garbage into a horrible garbage pyramid, if you will?
I think that games that make you stack things to reach higher places are horrible. I don't think that this game is that.
Yeah, both those and games involving pyramids, actually. If I ever see one, I'll just quit IF forever, actually.
Zach, we were going to let you solve this. What do you think?
All right. Well, I want to examine the fence and see perhaps maybe it is climbable.
One of the boards seems to be loose down at the bottom. You could probably just squeeze through.
Oh, that sounds way more exciting. Let's go do that.
Enter fence, I guess? Hey!
Does that work?
You have to, it says closing the umbrella first because you can't get through the fence if your umbrella is open.
Forgot about the umbrella.
Dropping to your hands and knees, you wriggle underneath the loose board and scramble down a muddy slope. Now you're on the narrow beach. This narrow strip of beach is tucked away between two outcroppings in the predominantly rocky shoreline, accessible only from a steep, muddy slope to the west. The sand is filthy and strewn with rocks, seaweed, litter, and other bits of storm-tossed detritus. Detritus? Yeah. Near the bottom of the slope, a sewage outflow pipe juts over the beach about 3 feet above the ground. A thin stream of acrid-smelling sewer water trickles out of the lip of the pipe, forming a puddle in the sand. You are getting wet.
Are we gonna have to go through a sewer to get the key to our house? That's pretty hardcore. I mean, buying houses is hard enough. I mean, this is a step beyond.
I think going through a sewer is not ever having bought a house, but I'm fairly sure it's an accurate replication of the home buying process.
Yeah, you have to inspect the plumbing before you can pass the papers, right? It's all part of the deal.
Yep, sounds about right to me. Having bought one.
I do not think that, spoiler, the sewer is not important to this immediate puzzle. It will become relevant later.
I'm going to go inside of it anyway. Wait, no. East is only the sea. Enter pipe. You don't really feel like crawling headfirst into a smelly, filthy, pitch-black sewer pipe. You're
So
getting...
that's you all telling me what I just told.
No. Well, yes. I forget how to get... If we go west?
West is there's a slope.
West, yeah, west is how you get back to the alley.
Oh, well, we don't want that.
This is great because I was really afraid that we'd play some of this game and we'd get to a really scary part and then I'd be, freaked out and unable to sleep and I'd be giving myself nightmares. But it looks like we're going to spend this whole stream messing around trying to...
We're just not getting anywhere.
No.
So it never gets scary. So win-win.
Yes. This is the nice version of Anchorhead. The problem is, Zach, me and Sam, probably these other guys, remember the solution to this puzzle very easily. And if you don't figure it out, we're just going to do it for you. Zach.
Yeah.
This may be a problem going forward.
I'm not... Yeah, relying on me for puzzles is going to cause a delay, I think, in some part. But I can definitely try.
You're better at finding bugs.
What was your... Oh, you were cutting out there. Okay. You mentioned a lot of stuff on the beach, and a lot of cool descriptive words for that, and I don't know the words. But let's examine the stuff strewn about the beach and see. Maybe.
The sand is filthy and strewn with rocks, seaweed, litter, and other bits of storm-tossed detritus. Now I can X detritus.
That's what I was looking for. And there weren't any other anywhere else to go other than the slope, which is put back. Which is good.
No, you can. They are pretty insistent about how you can only leave up the slope to the west.
I see.
The examined detritus says there is nothing of any worth or interest here, just drifts of trash.
This is what we call a clue.
It's that neat kind of clue where the thing it's cluing is stop paying attention to this.
Yeah, I'm getting the impression there's not much here, so we should probably go back up the slope to the west.
You know what?
Or did I miss something? I probably missed something.
I want to bring something up, but it's slightly spoilery. Zach, do I have your permission to say something?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's pretty clear anyway that we will exit from this sewer pipe at some point in the future. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that the cool thing here is that if we hadn't gone through the fence what would have happened was go through 70 hours of gameplay, end up in the sewers, crawl out this sewer pipe onto this beach, and then the only place it'll let us escape from the beach is through this fence, and we end up back in this alley where we were at the very beginning of the game. And I really like it when games do that.
Yeah, it's like sort of returning to a hub world where you weren't expecting to.
Yeah. I think the Metroid games do that all the time, and it's always really satisfying to fall out of the unfamiliar space and into the place where you started, where you feel a little bit more secure.
Yeah, it's very much. I mean, because the alley is very much a small contained space where you start out, and you don't really expect to see very much use out of it again. But
by the time we leave, we're going to feel like this alley is a place that we have some control over. And toward doing that, I'm going to solve this puzzle. I think you push the boxes.
Actually, do you want to know what I tried? Because I can't remember what we did, but I found that you could stand on the can, but I didn't do anything beyond that.
Okay.
Because there's garbage cans.
Right. I tried to push boxes, and it says the boxes fall to pieces in your hand. Stand on can. Yeah, you can stand on the can. And if you enter the window, you can't quite reach because the garbage can is too far away from the wall. Perhaps if you pushed it closer,
the
The garbage can instantly rusts away at your touch.
Okay, push can.
Push can. You push the garbage cans around aimlessly is the wrong response.
Push can to window. Good God, old school.
Wait, I think. Wait, push can to window. Holy cow!
Yeah.
What is the deal? Okay.
Yeah.
Climb
Gentry is
can.
like, look, prepositional phrases. We got them.
Now, I feel like push cans around aimlessly is a completely acceptable response if you haven't tried to reach for the window yet. But once you have been told that you can't reach the window,
Yeah. By definition, you have an aim.
Yeah.
You are not aimless.
for real. And now you can reach the lower edge. I'm going to enter window. It's a tight squeeze, but you just managed to wiggle through, dropping quietly to the floor inside. Now you're in the file room. Peering through the murk, you can make out the blocky outlines of filing cabinets lining the walls and the doorway to the west. A window high up on the south wall lets in very faint illumination.
Thrill to the excitement of files.
Let's see. Open cabinets. There must be hundreds of files here, too many to browse through. You'll have to look up something specific if you want to find anything. Oh, hey. Open secret file. All right.
No, that's not what it is. That'd be awesome if that was.
That's the kind of thing that people should consider adding as an Easter egg. Examine secret.
There you go.
I just tried look up Michael.
Oh, yeah?
I tried look up Gentry and it didn't do anything. Sorry.
Huh. Right.
Name. For some mention of your husband's name, it dawns on you that the property is most likely listed under the family's original ancestral name, which you realize is some embarrassment you've completely forgotten.
How will we ever figure out the name? Is it in our inventory?
Remember name.
I hate it so much when people try remember.
Do you know what? That's actually legal input, and there's a response to that, which is
What?
you pause momentarily, lost in thought.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Okay, I think we should clearly go west.
Okay.
There's nothing. This is a non-room right now.
Pallid gray light trickles in through the drawn blinds. The office is deserted. Papers still scattered across the top of the desk. The front door lies west, and the file room lies east. Sitting on the corner of the paper-strewn desk are a telephone and an answering machine. Someone seems to have
90s.
left. Someone seems to have left a cup of coffee sitting out, half finished and cold.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, obviously we have to try drinking the coffee.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Come
Is there
on.
any?
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have the game open yourselves. You
Yeah.
can go around and go ahead and drink the coffee. I am having none of it because
I
that's
have
gross.
typed drink coffee again, which the response every time is you take one sip and nearly gag. Awful stuff. Oh well.
I think this is the kind of game where we're supposed to pick up the coffee, though, right?
And put it in our pocket? Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh, I
put
found a bug.
coffee in pocket. Oh, the cold
Oh,
murky coffee would spill out. Ah.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't find the bug.
So why do you exist, coffee? You are a mystery of science.
yeah. I was just about to say, although I'm not sure how true this is, that what I've noticed is there's way more detail in every one of these rooms than I would ever write in a game.
Well, you are
Because-
extraordinarily focused, as authors go.
I didn't know that. I'm
Well,
just
thank you.
lazy.
Well, you are semi-famous for being like very focused on like directing the player towards the one thing that advances the plot. It's kind of your thing.
I didn't know that. I thought my thing was lying to the player. The
That is another thing, and making everyone be an asshole is the other thing.
the thing, it seems to me, at least, thinking about this in terms of designing the game for Michael, is all of these details are liabilities because they're things that will tend to distract the player. We're going to find out probably that a bunch of them are actually necessary to the plot. And
Well,
so,
I think the thing is that this game is designed for a non-modern sensibility, right?
oh
It's
yeah,
designed for you to like very slowly over multiple sessions poke around at everything and go away and come back and go away and come back again. Maybe not even solve anything on one particular session, but
that's so true.
it is a pre-comped kind of game. Even if it is
Oh.
technically, even if I did it come out, when did the comp start? You should know this.
Why should I know this?
When did the comp start? 95.
Okay, so our
It's an early comp
okay,
era game.
so the comp had not yet corrupted this.
That's really
It
sad,
is
though.
just a barely post Photopia game, which is to say he clearly started writing before Photopia came out. So
Hmm.
thanks, Adam.
Let's see. I'm going to look at the papers because they're one of the details that I wouldn't bother with. Sifting through the paperwork, you find nothing that catches your attention. Good job. You can hear a fly buzzing around somewhere in the next room. I think about this fly a lot. I'm going to try to listen. There's a fly buzzing around in here somewhere. Listen to fly. You can hear it buzzing around here somewhere. You just can't see it. Ah, fantastic.
Okay, let's look at the answering machine because this is a device, and if there's anything we've learned from Maya, it is that things and buttons are our friends.
Yeah, buttons, because there's the set inputs. We don't have to guess a verb. We just press a button. It's a simple answering machine with a small display indicating the messages received, a button labeled play, and a button labeled delete.
We should
Let's
just
press delete.
delete, absolutely. Let's just go
Okay.
for it.
Alternatively, let's not.
Well, I can't imagine the game would let us do that if it was
Well, you
relevant.
imagine wrong, friend.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I gotta try it.
You can also spill the coffee, I found, if you just
Oh,
type
yeah?
spill coffee. Yeah, and it just lets you.
yeah. Does that count as a cruel? I think it's pretty obvious. More like,
Slowly destroy.
I think that makes it tough. Okay, let's actually press play.
Okay. For a while, there is nothing but a quiet hiss, followed by intermittent skirls of strange-sounding static. It sounds like one of those annoying glitches where the caller hangs up but the machine keeps recording anyway. Then, barely audible through the static, you detect what sounds like a human voice whispering a single word. Verlac. The machine beeps. A brief shudder ripples up your back. You remember now. Verlac is the name of this branch of Michael's family. Oh,
Yeah, with a name like that, you kind of have to commit to a life of unremitting evil.
That should be an anagram for something, right? It looks like an anagram.
La Cave. No.
RL Cave. It's a reference to Colossal Cave. That's an RL.
Yeah.
You have to go to Kentucky. Let's go. That's a clue.
No, it's not a clue.
Cleaver. Cleaver.
Cleaver.
Okay. It should be. What was the name of the guy in The Seventh Guest? It was just Faust. That doesn't.
Oh, it was. Oh shit. It was something in Germany. You're right.
I'm gonna look up Verlac.
Yeah. It was pronounced Faust in the
Faust.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 2 points.
What? What'd you do?
I looked up Verlac.
Yeah.
Hey.
Someone's actually playing.
Stout. Stout. That's the second guess thing.
Well, you had said before, like you said the thing of like, oh, you can't seem to remember. I'm like, oh yeah, so that is it. I wonder if you can look it up because I was trying to look up everything. I was really disappointed that there weren't more things that I could look up, even if it was just false references.
I feel like there are some Easter egg things to look up in here. Look up Anchorhead.
I'm looking at.
Look up Anchorhead doesn't give me anything.
Yeah, I was disappointed. Anchorhead didn't give anything. That Benson didn't give anything.
Benson?
No.
Okay, this is sad.
Or Lovecraft or anything.
Yeah, Cthulhu, nothing.
Jeez.
I was trying to find anything that would, even if it would just give me back a, sorry, this is, and some interesting tidbit, but not useful information.
There's something. I remember it from a spoiler, but it's in the past. Anyway, now we have the keys, right?
We do.
Yeah, we have a key ring. I don't think I fully understand the key ring. I think it's really cool that it collects all your keys for you. I don't think it actually makes things any simpler than carrying a bunch of keys loosely, except for realism.
I think it stops your inventory getting cluttered a bit because you're going to have a huge fucking inventory by the end of the game, and it organizes them.
That's true.
Do we not have the Emily Short style locksmith extension-ish thing where it automatically puts the right key in, or do you have to say use the iron key?
Oh boy!
Every time.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, we will.
All it's actually it is actually kind of good about that, but I could be wrong.
From inside, we can unlock the office door. Is there anything else we need to worry about in the office? Telephone. Oh.
We got what we came for.
Have you picked up the phone?
Pick up telephone.
Creepy. I'm going to warn you. It's scary.
You start to dial out, but you can't get anything but a busy signal, no matter how much you jiggle the receiver. Frustrated, you hang up. That was pretty scary.
Yeah. That's what they always do. They cut the lines.
Also, we can unlock the office door and go out the normal way.
Yeah, like normal humans.
Yes.
Like civilized people.
Mm-hmm. Don't get used to it.
So I guess we're going to go to the center of town to the west.
Yeah.
And, okay. As the lane winds along from east to west, it narrows until the steep, jagged rooftops on either side of the street practically touch each other. To the south, a side street leads across Whately Bridge to the... Or tell me how to pronounce that.
What?
Whately?
We. It's like Worcester. No, I don't know.
Yeah. For the center of town.
Waitley. It's definitely Waitley.
And a twisting lane leads up the hill to the northwest. A short flight of steps to the north leads down to the local watering hole.
Pub.
There is a bar in Anchorhead.
It's mostly there so the locals can disapprove of you, as I recall.
We're going to go in there.
Okay.
You close your umbrella, as is your habit after coming indoors. That's good detail. I like that it keeps on telling me what's going on with my umbrella. Although we didn't close it to enter the transom window. A dank, drafty, old drinking hole lit by... I have to read all of this because I assume someone's going to watch this later. Sorry. Flickering oil burning lanterns, smoke collects in greasy pools along the rafters, and shadows crowd thick around. The bar runs the length of the room to your right, while to the south, a low doorway opens onto the street. Mill workers and fishermen occupy a few of the tables, drinking beer or puffing grimly at long-stemmed pipes. Classic. Each is wrapped in his solitude, soaking up the general miasma of dreary fatalism.
Whoa.
The lantern sitting on the table nearest you sputters fitfully, throwing distorted shadows across the wall, providing light.
And I have only been in New England once, but I can confirm that it is just like this everywhere.
Yeah.
Lots of long-stemmed pipes.
Mm-hmm. Mostly the general miasma of dreary fatalism, but, long-stem pipes when you can get them.
You can just take the lantern like it's no thing. Because of their dreary fatalism. They don't care.
They're too miasmic and fatalistic. There's actually nothing for them anymore.
The patrons of this place are taciturn and grim. No one speaks. No one looks anyone in the eye. No one, in fact, even looks up from his beer. A heavy aura of resignation, and it almost seems dread, hangs palpably over the whole crowd. Wow. I'm going to talk to one of them. Talk to Fisherman. About the Verlac family, it assumes.
Yay! Let's pick the least sensitive topic possible.
Suddenly, although you wouldn't have thought it possible, the pub becomes even more icily silent. Even the lantern flames seem to pause their flickering. The nearest of the locals turns toward you, squinting through eyes like black glass embedded in his ancient leathery skin. His lips barely seem to move beneath his salt-encrusted beard. A lot of beards in the stream here tonight. Some things best left alone by outsiders, ma'am, he rasps in a Midwestern accent. Some things best left alone by decent folk altogether. Back in one of the darker corners, someone spits deliberately on the floor. And then all eyes are back on their beer. It's as if you didn't exist at all.
Wow. I had not remembered the super Lovecraftian overwriting, but damn!
Yeah. I had the same thing where I was like, well, Lovecraft was kind of ridiculous. This game is a little more restrained. Not really, though. Can you think of anything else to ask the fishermen about? Because I'd love to bother these guys more.
I'm going to
ask about the beer. Can we order a beer?
Yeah.
Are there peanuts behind the bar that we can get?
I'm trying to extract salty wisdom from the fishermen, but it's not really going anywhere. They're not very interested in love or life or deep topics.
By
Ask
the
about
returns, regrettably impossible, you left both your purse and your wallet in the car. You're loving this town more every minute.
Show
Damn you, gentry.
wedding ring to fisherman. No one seems
On it for a beer?
right. All right. You're right, Sam. These guys exist only to be cast. I think north, south. As you make your way to the door, your foot strikes something under one of the tables.
Oh, really? X something.
Don't type in X something. I hate when people do that. The correct answer is look under table. Some forgetful soul has left a flask underneath one of the tables. It's
Not
pushed
bad.
into a shadowy corner because it's atmosphere. Take E flask. This game, does this predate Thy Dungeon Man?
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
So
Wow.
can you get Ye Flask?
Can get you flowers.
The label is faded and mostly peeled away, but what little you can make out seems to indicate that this is not a particularly distinguished brand of spirits, so it's not like a personal flask. The words bootleg and rotgut come to mind, probably because they are the only words legible on what's left of the label. That's too silly for this game. The mimesis has been spoiled. I'm going to drink flask. That is not something you can drink.
The hell, man?
Oh,
Drink
wow.
from flask.
But like,
You-
someone has not actually played Arkham Horror, where whiskey is a vital ingredient to restoring sanity.
Open flask. You open the flask, revealing
Oh my
about
goodness.
3 swallows worth of cheap whiskey. 3. This is great because you're right. Whiskey is what we need to restore our sanity, but they're letting us know right away that we only have 3 hearts.
I think we haven't. I'm pretty sure we haven't had to take a sanity check yet, so let's hang on to that.
Right.
You know what's great about this whole scene, which I did not appreciate at the time, just for being younger and less worldly, is that this does sort of strike me as a accurate caricature of what New Englanders seem like to a person from the American South.
Mm-hmm.
And just everyone is actually very taciturn and keeps to themselves. And like, you walk into a subway car and people don't greet you. What's up with that? You go into a cafe and people are on their computers. And I think for if your player character is from Texas and you walk into a New England bar, this strikes me as an accurate caricature, and that I did not realize that in 1999.
In 1989, I was in South Shropshire, thus had no conception of the subtleties of American regional.
In 1999, I didn't know what a text adventure was, so you guys were quite a bit ahead of me. Oh, hey, check this out. I went south out of the bar to the narrow street, and it says a sudden gust of rain puts the lantern out. So there goes the light source.
What?
Do we need matches or something to relight it? Or it's oil, right? Or does it light itself? Hello!
Is that Jason McIntosh?
Yes, it is, and Ryan Vida. We are playing Anchorhead.
Hi.
Okay, this is introducing my lovely and talented wife, Jacqueline Lost Ashwell.
Hi, Jack.
Busy
Hi.
The award-winning, thank you.
winning
Not
author
nominated.
of. Also nominated.
Yes.
You have to anyway.
Yeah, everyone should go enter intro comp.
Everyone should go enter comp. You have 1 week left to do your intents to enter, and then you have another month to do your introduction. So, yeah. alllinkback.com/introcomp.
Also, you're disrupting our safe space of white dudes with glasses. So,
Very sorry about that. It was a pleasure meeting everyone.
Should I take mine off so I can be the non-one? I can't
Come
see.
on, you guys.
okay, game.
There are no girls allowed in this game about a woman running around behind her husband's back.
I'm just impressed that that Mike Gentry had the budget to make the separate female model for this game. Because I think that
We're being topical tonight.
I've been hearing nothing except just about that all week. So.
Well, we'll move on, and there's other places. There's a bunch of different places we can go. Northwest is up a hill. South is the bridge.
Now we don't want to. Wow, I'm remembering this map entirely inverted. That's weird.
Oh, and I think we have both east and west. You're remembering it inverted just east and west, or you're remembering
I
it
remember
inverted?
it goes north and south. Like everything is,
Oh.
yeah, very strange.
I think I have. Let me show you my map so far.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm relying on you guys to keep track of this. I think though that when I tried this before, it was really useful to keep in mind which way the ocean was and which way where the river was. I send that off to you guys as a tip because I'm not going to bother. My instinct is to go northwest.
I've gone and got myself lost. I would advise not going northwest because I get you lost in a twisted maze of passages,
Oh my
which
gosh!
I'm currently trying to extract myself.
Wasn't that just a hill? Wait. I think
Are
my
you
map-
talking
Oh my
about
gosh.
moving to?
Oh, this seems super fair in 1997.
Oh, this is sick. North, west. Yeah.
Aha! Eventually, I've managed to extract myself.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. Very faintly, from somewhere over the rooftops, you hear the faint, quavering strains of a violin.
Creepy.
Are you joining us? Stuart?
No, I'm
Or-
just saying that it's creepy.
I wish you would join us.
I haven't played Anchorhead in a long time.
Neither of any of us. That's the point.
Or I just come sit over your shoulder.
You can sit on my
I
shoulder,
come sit over your shoulder.
or you can.
Okay.
Am I allowed my adult beverage?
I have been drinking adult beverages throughout. I feel kind of offended that no one else has been. But
You-
I'm going to go fetch an adult beverage. I have all these empties. You
Thank
guys
you,
keep
sir.
playing. I gotta.
I just finished a rum and coke, so
okay,
I'm
I do not feel so alone.
toddler enjoying a glass of.
You can tell this is where I work.
Wait, where are we? Like, where are we in the game?
Very early. We're
Okay.
we're playing simultaneously.
Are you guys trying to help Floyd
this is
out?
where I work too.
This is. Oh wow.
Clash of the Titans.
I'm not aware of Clash of the Titans.
This is the thing.
I can't do.
This is not Clash of the Titans canon though, because
Okay, we're supplemental material
right.
because Michael isn't here.
This is all going on the DVD.
Is it really?
The Clash of the Titans, the CD that also contains the extremely long audio track of us trying to set up a Google Plus Hangout.
I know.
It's gonna be great.
It's material, man. It's gold.
Yeah. And then I have to record a commentary on this. It's going to be a pain. Hey, Sam, what direction did you take to get out of the twisty maze?
Southwest, and I think which is like obviously the opposite direction, which is I think it's just like the direction away from where you were going. It's not actually a maze. It's just going back the way you came, but it fucks with you to make you think.
That's so. Yeah, I was wondering if it just made you do all of the different directions.
That's also possible because I fucked around a whole lot before I figured that out.
So we should leave the scary place alone, and we should instead go
West, like a civilized
west. Junction. To the north, a gap in the crowded press of gloomy buildings opens onto a country lane, heading out over a grassy heath. They don't have heaths in America. Shut up. The main street continues to the
They do,
east.
but they're called balls.
It's New England. Get it? England. England as Heath.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I'm pretty
so
sure
they should be called.
I'm pretty sure they call heaths in the UK are called balls in America.
Sort of.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Sort of.
They should call it a grassy new heath. The main
Anyway.
street continues to the east because we just went west, and to the northwest, over the top of a steep rise, you can just make out the vaulted rooftops of the university.
Okay.
Zach, what do you want to do? Oh, Zach's gone. Never mind.
Northwest.
Northwest. We're going
Like a
to.
civilized person.
Oh my gosh, there's so much. Someone else read this.
University Court. Isolated and serene within its high, ivy-coloured walls, Miskatonic University represents this benighted town's single, if somewhat dubious, claim to cultural achievement. Founded sometime in the early 1800s, the school's reputation and enrollment have diminished somewhat as Anchorhead drifts further and further into the abyss of provincial backwaters. Still, it is generally recognized for its collection of folklore and esoteric mythology, one of the oldest and most extensive on the East Coast. The Board of Deans was kind enough to offer Michael a full professorship upon hearing of his recently discovered heritage, foreshadowing,
That's suspicious.
and his plans to move into the estate. Ivory Tower, perhaps, but at least they take care of their own. There are numerous buildings surrounding this cobbled court. The only one you are interested in is the library to the west, where Michael told you he'd be until he came back to the real estate office to pick you up, which, incidentally, he has not yet done. Ass.
He doesn't say ass, actually. He was improvising.
Over here I have a sudden gust of wind blows a cold spray of rain into your face because of the random atmosphere generator.
You're out of sync.
Yeah.
It seems fairly clear we need to go west. There is some Vader-esque direction going.
Shadows roost thickly in the vaulted ceiling, and small green-shaded desk lamps, like in Ghostbusters, cast pools of warm radiance here and there around the library's dim interior. You pause a moment to let the hushed peacefulness of this place soak in. A welcome relief.
Like in Ghostbusters?
No, it does not say like in
Oh, I missed the... Okay. I was like, seriously?
That's Casey from Robin and Orchid talking.
Gotcha.
The exit is east. A small alcove to the north houses the circulation counter. Peering through the shadows, you spot your husband sitting at one in some sort of weighty tome and clearly is oblivious to the time. What should we do to the husband?
No, domestic violence is wrong.
I'm gonna do it. I ain't nervous. I can get away with anything. You would never do anything to hurt your husband.
Foreshadowing!
Shut up, Sam!
Spoiler, dude.
Fine, I'm gonna go have another beer.
No, it's I think it's more and more interesting as we learn more about how absent-minded and kind of a jerk the husband is when we know that he's kind of the author.
Yeah. It is, yeah. It is very much a game about how your husband is not very attentive.
What do we got?
Michael.
Okay.
Tall and a bit on the skinny side, in an endearingly awkward sort of way. A serious, thoughtful face, topped in an unruly tangle of brown hair. Deep brown eyes, framed by wire-rimmed glasses. Yep, that's the man you married, all right. At the moment, Michael is largely absorbed in his reading and is paying little attention to you.
This is this is odd. I just tried examine book, and something other than examining the book happened. I'd like to see if that happens if someone else tries to examine the book.
Quit drinking.
Why?
Examine the book.
Michael looks up, startled, then realizes it's you and smiles. Let me do my emotion. I'm gonna do my Texan accent. Can I?
No, just do your American.
Hi, hon. Then he glanced at his watch. Good grief! What happened to the time? I'm so sorry. I just lost track.
Okay, everyone in America is from some part of northern Texas.
He smiles sheepishly. He's saying hon, okay? What am I meant to do with that? Goodness, hon. Looking up and down. You're all wet. Well, did you get the keys?
Oh, I'm just gonna type in yes, because in these old school games you can just type in yes. Great, let's see them. Yes. That was a rhetorical question.
Show keys to Michael.
Thanks for coming by, Christopher.
Fun to see you guys. I enjoyed it.
Bye.
Nice to meet you, Sam.
Show keys to Michael. Great, says Michael. You hang on to that. Just a second, I'll put this back. He takes the book up to the circulation desk and hands it to the librarian, so he don't know what book it is. Okay, then, he says, returning. Let's go. Michael suddenly smacks his forehead. Oh, crap, I forgot to tell you, the car broke down. He spreads his hands. I don't know what happened to it. 1 second I'm parking outside, the next second it dies. And I can't get it started again. I called a tow truck, but the nearest garage is up in Arkham. They picked it up. Yeah.
You'll fix it.
They picked it up, but won't be able to look at it until next week at the earliest. Anyway, it looks like we'll have to walk back to the house. He offers you a lame smile, just like the author would offer. You can hold the umbrella. Your score has just gone up by 2 points.
And we have an umbrella.
Funny.
Oh, we had the umbrella to begin with.
I know,
It's
but I
kind
mean, we
of
get
a-
to hold it. We get to hold it like an
Yeah.
adult.
Because he's a
Yeah.
nice husband who lets his wife hold umbrellas.
That's really very chivalrous of him, yeah.
We feel good about this relationship. Let's go east then.
Blah, blah. Michael hurries to catch up. Which way is...
East again?
I think it's southeast. Southeast.
Although these hallowed halls of learning probably hold a veritable trove of knowledge, you're no longer a student at the only building you have any business with, the library. Southeast, yes.
Yeah. So then, this is the junction where... No, this is somewhere else. The street continues east, so that's the correct way to go. And then we can go south across the bridge, right? Yes, here we are on the bridge. Wee Bridge. A hoary monument of crumbling, mossy flagstones. Wee Bridge is possibly older than any other structure in the entire city. Ponderously, it spans the dark, torpid waters of the Miskatonic River, connecting the north and south halves of the city and occasionally raining bits of gravel and mortar from its underside into the water. It looks just wide enough for 2 cars to pass each other between the flanking stone parapets, but you wouldn't volunteer to try it. Michael strolls along after you. Yes?
I didn't notice this when I first played it, but the shift of perspective there, it's like, you're suddenly like moving to a very like omniscient third person there, right? Because like when you're in town, how do we know about it's raining bits of gravel and water? But it's an effective technique, but
We could have seen it raining a bit of gravel.
yeah, I think it's a special pleading.
I disagree.
Maybe while you're looking at the water, you just see a continual scree of like bits of mortar that are only emerging from one side of the bridge so clearly.
Maybe while they're crossing the bridge, a tour guide sneaks up to you and whispers softly into your ear.
This is possibly older than any other structure in the entire city. I think this is actually the text of a plaque that we're stopping to read.
Oh, yeah.
I'll buy that.
He said,
the plaque
Michael
that talks about how shitty the construction is. The bridge is falling apart while you're watching it.
America, okay?
We really should be getting onto the house, don't you think? Asks
Yes,
Michael.
yes, we should.
Like we're just messing around. A town square. A wide expanse of uneven paved stones lies open to the sky, bordered on all sides by the leaning steep-roofed architecture that looms over everything in this city. The municipal courthouse stands at the south end of the square, next to the mouth of a dark, narrow alley to the southwest. Avenues to the west and east lead back into the cramped and ingrown streets, while to the north lies Whately Bridge. In the center of the square, rising from a circular lawn of unhealthy-looking grass and weeds, stands a strange stone obelisk. It seems to be a monument of some sort, although you can see no plaque or marker anywhere near it.
Pray.
Michael, yes?
Pray.
Oh, yeah?
Your prayers are not answered.
Damn it. Okay.
Okay, Pray to obelisk?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying.
Also not answered.
Oh well.
Although I am impressed that they implemented it with that phrasing, because
Yeah.
normally, like, in Inform 7, prayer is an activity, is an action relating to nothing. So,
Yeah.
Actually, you have to implement it.
yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But if you implement
It's not
it.
a default verb.
This is Lovecraft, and, like, God ain't gonna help you.
Well, I was praying to the Dark One.
Oh, you need to be
Pray
humble.
to
Oh.
Cthulhu. You can't pray to Cthulhu. You can't see any such thing.
Oh! Well then. Okay, let's just examine the obelisk, since it's clearly, like, meant to be a thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's featureless. It measures about 2 feet square at its base, narrowing slightly as it rises a good 15 feet to a bluntly pointed tip. An iron ring is embedded in the stone high up on one side. About 2 feet from the top. Dense, twisting hieroglyphs cover all 4 sides of the obelisk, although they are too worn to be read clearly.
Look at him anyway.
Okay.
Spell hieroglyphs.
They are not Egyptian, which is what you first assumed from the general shape and design of the obelisk. In fact, though you are no archaeologist, these carvings don't look like any sort of ancient writing you've ever seen. The characters, which must have been carved very deeply in order to survive this much erosion, twist and squirm in disturbing ways, flowing into and through each other and almost seeming to shift slightly as you follow their lines. The effect is deeply unsettling. I'm sorry, I meant the effect of the preceding sentence is deeply unsettling, and you have to suppress an urge to take a step or two back away from the monument.
I would just like to point out, even though I was told to be quiet, that I actually am an archaeologist. That I'm,
Oh, yeah?
I'm willing to suspend my.
You have to suspend. You're not the character.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just difficult to read. You're not an archaeologist.
Your husband never lets you
Yeah.
carry the umbrella.
No, that's true, but that's because we're into raincoats and not sharp implements that you hold at eye level in, narrow streets.
You're projecting, I feel, slightly too much into the game.
Oh, okay. I'll
No, I
try.
was kind of there too. This kind of assumes a lot of familiarity with hieroglyphs that I don't know that the protagonist had. But
True.
that seems kind of weird. But at the same time, I guess you could probably tell the difference between.
Yeah, I think anybody who's keyed into Egyptian hieroglyphics, because they're kind of almost a part of pop culture, really, and have been for at least a century in Western.
And between that and something that's otherworldly, we could probably.
Yeah.
That's still believable.
Yeah.
Also, there's ineffable uncanniness, which Lovecraft.
Right.
We
We can recognize these as something really creepy.
Yes. They have a aura of wrongness.
Like a bad CG movie.
Yes. So where are we meant to be going?
Um,
Well,
I
yeah.
think south again.
Okay.
Oh, the courthouse is closed for today. Incorrect. East. Riverwalk.
There we go. Pretty good.
Hey. A low, irregular brick wall to the north divides this street from the steep, mud-slick banks of the sinuous Miskatonic, while a rusty iron gate provides access to a precarious flight of stone steps leading down the bank to the water's edge. The street bends south here, turning into a misty avenue between the trees. The town square lies west. A vacant lot lies east. Michael hurries to catch up. What the? Michael says suddenly. You turn to see him peering up at the sky.
oh, wow. We don't have that.
Oh, okay. That bird, He looks a bit embarrassed. I thought it was looking at me, but it flew away. He stuffs his hands in his pockets and tries to look nonchalant. That's weird that you don't have that.
No, we don't have that. I wonder, you guys got out of sync earlier, right? So
Yeah, you'll probably get it on the next turn or
If I
something.
wait. No.
Huh.
No, I've waited maybe 7 or 8 times. No, interesting.
That's very odd. We were supposed to go... If we go east, what happens? Oh my gosh! A vacant lot. There's a cracked pavement and rampant weeds, a high chain link fence. A filthy old mattress lies among the weeds over in one corner of the lot. But after stepping into the vacant lot, I got the same message again about him thinking a bird is looking at him.
No.
I'm not getting any of these bird messages.
I have the.
You have
This
the
is my
special
personal horror story where I'm playing. I can see these messages about a bird
Yeah.
that is must can.
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
Maybe you should take a break.
Guys, you all in your homes have birds behind you in your rooms with your computers, right? Because I see a bird with Jason and I see a bird with Sam.
You?
Yeah.
You're just seeing birds.
You're just seeing birds, dude.
Well done.
Okay, all right.
Mike got us.
Ha ha ha. I want to, like, I think Michael should start to yell at us about. Stop that! Stop that! No, no. Michael should start to yell at us about messing around and not walking to the house, but I'm going to try examining this mattress. It is stained and beaten, oozing stuffing in several places. From the cans and food wrappers scattered around it, it looks as though someone's been using it as a bed. Flip mattress, obviously. That's not something you can switch.
You also are not allowed to sleep on it. It's
Turn
too early to
on
be
mattress.
sleep. Not. It's
Otherwise-
gross and skanky, and you don't want to sleep there.
Otherwise, you would totally sleep on the hobo.
If if it wasn't so early, we totally.
I guess west, and then south. Chili Avenue.
Oh!
Yeah?
Lee Avenue, we have the bird.
Oh, thank goodness.
Not just you.
Now you have it instead of me.
And a clammy mist.
And I'm free.
I mean, to be fair, this is New England. We should have clammy things.
Mm.
Yeah, but this bit, he had several
Famous
birds.
for our clam meanness.
Isn't your state flower a clammy mist?
It is the yes, the clammy mist. It's right on the flag.
The temperature along this street seems perceptibly cooler than normal, even for New England autumn. Two dirt roads lead south and southwest into the dense woods at the edge of town. I seem to remember that this mist. If you try to go south, Michael says, actually, I think the house is in the other direction. We really should be getting onto the house, don't you think? It's a bit rainy out. I remember...
Michael invents mansplaining 10 years early.
If we got here before we picked up Michael, I think the mist would have, like, grabbed us and pushed us away from even getting to this location. Which has game design implications that we will ponder, but I don't think there's anything to say about it, really.
Have you tried examining the mist?
Oh,
I think we can explain it with a single word, gating, and move on.
well, but gating with a mist that comes to life and acts like supernatural right at the beginning of this game that's supposed to be a slow burn is different from other kinds of gating that could have been used.
If I examine the mist, I can't see more than a few yards down the road in that direction. So, I mean, maybe that. Are you sure that that's the response if Michael's not around? 'Cause, I mean, it might just be like, oh, you can't see your hand in front of your face. So I have to go that way.
If Michael's not around, it forcibly pushes you out of the location, and you can't get to Chili Avenue, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sorry, I arrived at class late.
No,
I won't do it again.
This is all our hazy recollection.
Oh, okay.
So
Right. I would call it a misty recollection, but okay.
I was trying to undersell that, but go ahead.
You have to be really direct with interactive fiction players. They're kind of dense. The scenic view. If you go southwest, you actually can get to this location. The tree line falls away on the north side of this northeast bend in the road, giving way to a panoramic view of the Miskatonic River Valley and the grubby little town of Anchorhead nestled within it. From here you can see the paper mill, almost directly to the north, with the solitary lighthouse and surrounding ocean to the northeast, and the dilapidated stone church below you to the east. Winding through it all is the oily black ribbon of the Miskatonic, and almost directly in the center lies the little clearing of town square. You can just make out the shape of the obelisk from here.
I have a question. Or an observation. Did you guys get that as you walk through the mist parts before your husband, almost deferentially
Oh yeah,
dissolving away into nothing.
I did get that, but I missed it.
Putting things before the room title, man, it's always a crapshoot.
No, I think that's lovely. I think it sets pace from room to room and makes things feel more natural.
But people miss it. Clearly.
It's just weird that the mist part is fine. All I'm
Or
saying.
is it?
I really think that this is probably the place where the mist forcibly prevents you, and so that would be a more
this seems like a lock and key puzzle, except
Michael is the
not so literal. It's a
key
Michael
dude.
puzzle.
all the tool. Continue.
Unlock mist with Michael. Southeast, north, this is hard. Northwest. Okay, outside the house.
Non-cardinal directions.
The lane runs up from the southeast and ends at a wide clearing surrounded by gnarled and ancient trees. A wide curving driveway runs up to the front door of your house, which lies north. The fabled Verlac family mansion looms before you in the gloom, its dark creaking presence dominating the clearing and, somehow, even though it is not visible through the trees, the entire valley. The foreboding shadow of the Verlacs seems to enshroud all of Anchorhead from here. A typewritten notice in Comic Sans has been attached to the front door.
That's terrifying.
Well, this must be the place. We finally made it, honey. We're home. Oh, good.
You guys are making me really love Michael with the accents.
He's a very sympathetic character, and we're trying to give him that touch.
I think it adds a depth.
Yeah. He's got so much going on in this game about himself. X notice, it says, it's from the Arkham Regional Utilities Company, explaining that due to wiring difficulties, the electricity will not be installed until next week. No phone service either. Well, that's wonderful news, remarks Michael dryly, reading over your shoulder. That's
The text and everything he says is dryly.
It's all very romantic, I think.
For a ranger, you
You can take the notice, and,
Oh, yeah?
and then we start getting with we start in with the inventory juggling, at least in my game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in my... Oh, close flask. I'm going to close a flask. Put flask
Have you just
in...
been dribbling whiskey?
That'll keep the coat sane, at least. Put all in pocket. Heck yes. You can slip the umbrella into the pocket of your trench coat, because it's one of those foldy deals.
Nice.
I have a lantern in my pocket.
Yep.
And I'm happy to see Michael with both those things, evidently. That's crazy. Must be a tiny lantern.
oil lantern, old and fisherman-y, and
Okay.
It's not currently providing light. I don't know if they let you put it in your pocket while it's turned on. It's something.
Open the door?
Okay. I'm gonna try unlock.
it seems to be locked. Oh, come on.
Shocking.
Although
Which do you mean? The key to the house? Or the key to the cellar? Which is a different door.
It is actually relevant. Very soon, like it is actually pretty relevant that it does not give you the niceties of opening, closing, and unlocking doors. It's kind of a like in all the annals of IF unlocking doors and closing doors and all that crap. This game actually is one of the most effective uses of not doing everything for you.
But you
So-
can unlock it. And in fact, I have done so.
And I opened the front door, and now I'm going to go in. And it says, "What do you want to go in?" Oh, and now there's a ton of text. I don't want to read all this.
Which way is it?
Jacqueline, you are
Other north.
read.
You close your umbrella, as is your habit after coming indoors. Foyer.
Foyer.
Oh, not foyer. We're in America now.
Boy, yay.
Although it appears spacious from the
I
outside,
call it a
this
fwa.
interior feels cramped and gloomy. There's that word again. There was things glooming in the gloom, and now it's gloomy. The walls seem close together. The ceiling is too high. Doorways leading in several directions are narrow and filled with shadows, and the stairs leading up to the second floor are steep and rickety. This is not a house that makes you feel welcome. It is a house that makes you feel tiny and timid and afraid of dark places. It is a house that makes you feel alone. The front door stands open to the south. Carelessly stacked in a towering heap in the middle of the room are all your luggage and belongings, which you had sent ahead through a moving company before driving up to Massachusetts. Everything you own is boxed away and piled up in the middle of the floor. Reality of this move finally slams home as you stare at the sprawling jumble of stuff, and suddenly you feel very lost and adrift. Night has now undeniably fallen, and the house is very, very dark. There is probably just enough residual ambience. Feel your way upstairs to the bedroom, but the rest of the house is a tenebrous maze of shadows, and any exploring would probably best be done in the morning. What follows you? Michael stretches his arms and yawns. Well, is that the voice I'm supposed to be using?
Correct.
There will be plenty of time to unpack and explore tomorrow. Good night, hon. He kisses you on the cheek. Don't stay up too late. And with that, he goes upstairs.
Don't stay up too late.
Noiseless draft boils through the narrow entrance hall. You shiver, wondering where it came from.
I also would really like to stress the perfection of the word tenebrous for a Lovecraft game. It's, I mean, yeah, using that word can take some stones.
I want to draw our attention to the end of the first paragraph where it says, "This is not a house that makes you feel welcome. It's a house of blah, blah, blah. It is a house that makes you feel alone." Is this telling more than it needs to tell
Given that
instead
Michael
of showing?
Well, Lovecraft is an oversharey kind of... I think that's actually a good description, honestly. I think I would rather... Yeah, I'm in favor of it.
It stands interestingly though against the next paragraph after the front door description, which is a lot more effective in saying you feel this way because of looking at the luggage, and then you have this realization, and now you feel this way, and that struck me as a lot more subtle and effective than this house makes you feel alone because ooga booga.
I think Lovecraft isn't subtle, is the thing. Lovecraft is about like hitting you with a brick several times and using a big fancy word.
So we have an interesting juxtaposition of like Lovecraft style and then like if I could like Michael Gentry style writing.
Yeah.
One after the other there.
That's the same paragraph written 2 different times. It does the same thing. Yes. Anyway. Yes?
Well, I just think it's kind of weird that it's like, well, I'm turning in. Night, hon. Like, that just seemed very sudden.
Well, I don't know. It's like, I think part of the deal is that Michael is like completely blasé and indifferent to all the spooky.
Yeah.
Like, that's meant to make you feel alone. It's meant to make you feel that, you know, that your experience is not being felt.
But we
by
just
someone else.
we just moved here, right?
Yeah.
What happened to the what do you think of the house, hun? And you know,
Well,
let's have some small talk because that's what couples sometimes do. I don't know.
He's texted. He's going to put
Is he? Wait, where is he from? You just made that up.
No, he's from. They're all.
He is from Texas.
They moved here from Texas.
Oh, okay.
It's not totally clear which one of them is native to Texas.
Oh,
We
I
can
totally
assume
did
that
the
they're both
accent
native to
wrong.
Texas.
I'm so sorry. I could have done a Texas.
You'll get it next time.
Yeah, I haven't been busting out the like Maine accent or anything for the fishermen. I can do that later.
I can.
All right.
I can do. Actually, I can only do Tennessee, but I could do Southern.
Close enough.
No.
No.
Hmm.
speaking as an American, I can't tell the difference. So, now here's the thing. It's been remarked on more than once that this game does this horrible, spooky thing where you go upstairs to try to go to sleep, but then it's like, you left the front door open.
Next night, when Michael isn't here.
Well, should
It's going to do that tonight, too, if we
should
don't
we shut the
lock
damn
it now.
door? Where
So
were
I'm
we?
going to close the door.
That door.
Lock door.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay. I mean, it is rural America. It seems like you could leave your door unlocked. But all right, fair enough.
So now if you didn't, it would prompt you to go back and do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
You just ruined one of the most cool moments of the game
Don't worry
I
about
did
it.
that on purpose.
because you like ruining things.
I love ruining things, and I love saving myself the trouble of doing it later.
If you need me to smack him at any point, Ryan, you just let us know.
It's way too late for that. I am sick and tired of this man, and I have resigned myself to his snark being a permanent fixture of this 80-hour Anchorhead stream. I did tell you guys that we're not stopping until it's over, right?
It was implied.
I'm actually
In case
gonna.
I'm gonna be like Michael and turn in right now.
Well, got it.
Don't stay up too late.
And I'm gonna go rest my britches. Upstairs.
I unlocked the door and then opened it up again, and now it's letting me move around freely. So long as you lock it once, apparently everything's fine. So
You can wait. Do you mean move around freely like?
I went
DC?
into the bedroom. Is it not supposed to let you do that?
Oh no! If you get up to the bedroom, you have to go back downstairs and lock it before it'll let you go to sleep.
Oh, okay.
I hit undo. I'm not locking the door.
Okay, you'll have that really affecting experience of having to go back downstairs in the dark, and it's really creepy. But I won't, because I don't want to be creeped out.
But the game.
Isn't that the point of the game to be creeped out?
I think playing the game is not at all what we want to do, and what we'd rather do is talk about the game.
Okay.
Fine. Okay. To bed.
To bed. I go upstairs, and the thing is, there's a hallway to the east, but it's dark. If I
Well,
go
if you had a
north,
lantern, you could. I'm just kidding.
you need batteries for the lantern. Master bedroom is a picture postcard of rustic New England charm. La da da. The most striking feature, an enormous antique four-poster bed. Must be the largest piece of furniture in the house.
Michael is curled up in bed, sound asleep.
That didn't take long.
Wow.
Well,
Pardon me. I should have muted my microphone.
I guess I'm marriages at that stage.
Putting things on Michael would achieve nothing.
Say what?
Putting things on Michael would achieve nothing.
I tried to put my coat on him. It seemed like a nice gesture.
Oh,
Pushing things on Michael would achieve nothing, like a
that coat is incredibly wet, though.
What?
Now, can you remove the coat and retain the items inside of it? Or is that
I
just a lot of things up?
doffed my coat, and there was no subsequent rain of inventory onto the carpet,
Huh.
the quaint New England rug.
Yeah, you can drop it around and just leave it behind and leave everything contained in there. Michael kicks at the covers fitfully, then rolls over and sinks back into troubled sleep.
Oh, he's dreaming. He's dreaming of chasing other Michaels.
Shut up. Ex-bed.
Jeez.
A gauze canopy.
sleep.
Ex-canopy. Oh, okay. It's a description of the bed again.
Sleep.
You can't wake Michael up either. He's had a very tiring day.
You try to get in bed, you're soaking wet. Maybe you should take a bath first. Good grief.
Oh, we're going to do a whole bit about the vulnerability of naked women to the horror thing.
Yeah,
Are we?
it's.
Yes, we are, repeatedly.
How can we not? What kind of game do you think this is?
In fact,
Remove.
I don't remember this bit from the last time I played it.
This is, in fact, a major reason why Anchorhead was like
Banned in
harangued,
3 countries.
was harangued as pornography by Poster, because had this been a graphical game, you could totally have seen her breasts.
I thought that the mist was in here and it would cover everything up.
Alluringly.
Yeah,
Because
but
we
you know,
didn't
PG
get room in
13.
there for the mist. Just
I don't remember. We played this on a cross-country road trip, right?
Yep.
On a Palm Pilot. The
Yep.
first time I
Oh,
played
wow.
this, I was
Wow.
driving on an interstate. He was in the passenger seat on a Palm Pilot. Remember those things? I didn't
Wow.
even
This is-
remember that it was a female protagonist, which is kind of interesting. But I'm like, really? It's a chick? So
Wow.
This is a terrible game to play on a Palm Pilot.
yeah, I was pretty. I think it
Every
was,
game is a terrible game to play on a Palm Pilot.
Yeah.
I would like
Oh
to
yeah,
But-
but it's no wonder you don't remember anything.
yeah, I was focusing on the road.
Right.
you know, it
So
was a good game to play on a Palm Pilot. Galaxian, that was good. I enjoyed that. It wasn't a text game. Please continue.
oh Zach, I was gonna secretly tell Zach while you guys
Oh,
were talking
no.
about Palm Pilots that I'm too young to have ever seen a Palm Pilot.
I'm sure that you were in the same room as one when you were a baby. At some
Probably.
point. You just don't remember.
You were probably conceived next to one.
I don't think that.
Ryan's not
No.
that young.
Uh,
I'm aware of Palm Pilots. I'm sure I've seen them in my time. I'm a little bit older than Ryan.
This wasn't that long ago.
Ryan, I'm
2004.
This was like 10 years. This was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 10 years ago. They're
Yeah,
older.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're older than 10. You guys look older than 10. So we're gonna go to the bathroom and take a shower. Or
yeah,
bath.
I was
What-
examining. I was scrutinizing the text for "take a bath," which hilariously, instead of like trying to pick up a bath, it lets you. It's a good idea. But you know, as sexual and erotic as this scene would be graphically, it is not depicted in those terms textually.
Also, we are in New England in an unheated house in autumn, yet we can have a bath for 45 minutes.
A
Oh,
hot
yeah.
bath.
Is the
But no
heating
one
on?
Well, it's a boiler.
Oh, yeah.
Probably a boiler.
I'm
What did they say that they said there was no electricity and phone, but one could assume that there's probably gas and water. So
Yeah, that's probably why you're so.
yeah,
okay, fine. My attempt at pedantry has been.
fail.
What
I'll try better
Headed-
next time.
Headed.
What you don't understand, Sam, is that the evil spirits are allowing this bath. They're heating the water to move the story along.
They're smearing Vaseline on the lens. They're doing the whole
Yeah. So anyway, my score has gone up by 1 point. Score. I have scored 5 out of a possible 100 points. I am at the threshold of a foreboding mystery. If I
Nice.
do, I have to like sleep, get in bed. Can I get in bed while I'm naked? Heck yes. Sleep. Sleeping in the nude. Almost immediately you fall asleep in the nude, and as the wind slithers around the eaves and the house creaks. As the wind slithers around the eaves in the house, creaks furtive secrets to itself. That's what you call a garden path sentence. You drift into troubling dreams.
Oh, I have to go lock the door. That's what I
Yeah.
set myself up for.
What a
It's
pain.
not letting me lock the door naked. I have to go.
It's not letting you lock the door naked?
No, it's like, shouldn't you get dressed first? Question mark.
I guess it assumes you don't have the key, but
Oh, that's true. The key is.
So New Englanders are quite proper and never walk around.
Well, only you can only upstairs. You can't go downstairs. In one's
Brian, I just want you to know I took your admonition and I relocked the door before we came up here, so like it's all
Yeah.
good here.
Saving a bunch of time. Unfortunately, we have to wait for Jason anyway.
Oh, I
read
don't
the
have the
text
correct
up,
key
so
because
let's
it's in
get
my
to it.
code because I left that upstairs. This is a great simulationist game because this is pretty much my real life right here. Where did I leave my code? Where did I leave my code? Have you seen my shoes? Oh, here it is in the bathroom. Never mind. Found it. Keys. Can't see any such thing. Wait, you gotta put your code on, and then you're like, okay, I think I can reach my pockets this way. Locked door. Can't see any such thing. Oh, because we're still on the landing. The door does not come up to meet us. I still don't have the key. What is going on here? The pockets of my trench coat contain a lantern. I've broken the game. I've lost the keys to the house.
Let's read the description of what happens when you sleep while you try and just fix your life.
I clicked
It's
on the
so
thing
bad.
and it skipped the text, so I can't see it anymore.
Oh,
So
I've
if
got
you
it.
want to, yeah.
Oh, the bit about sleep or the bit about... Oh, because yeah, no, you have to... I got it. No, I got it. You are waiting in your bed with the coverlet up under your chin, waiting for father to come tuck you in. Slightly creepy.
Don't get creepier.
Footsteps in the hall pause outside your door. You close your eyes. When you open them again, father is standing at the foot of the bed. His eyes are bloodshot, rimmed with red, and you wonder if he has been crying. Slowly, he starts to take off his belt. Only it's not your father after all. It is getting creepier. It's Michael.
Yeah.
He hands you a golden spear and says, I don't know what it opens yet, but I've got an idea. Your reflection is like a little doll trapped inside the sphere. Everything is tinged with gold. Your face swells and stretches comically as you stare back at yourself through the curved, supporting walls. Reaching out, your fingers curve back on themselves. The wall breaks, and you are running from the eyes, the terrible red-rimmed eyes, through endless narrow corridors of wooden slats and crumbling plaster. You stumble through turn after turn, hopelessly lost. There is a small hole in the boards. Peering through it, you see Michael, in the study, typing diligently away. Scream. You pound on the wall, but he can't hear you. The red-rimmed eyes draw closer. Hurrying down a twisting passage, you find a dead end. The wall breaks, and outside, you stand at another dead end. High brick wall at the end of a steep, twisting lane, written in black spray paint. He always returns to his blood. Behind you, you hear the buzzing of a fly. You turn and hit the spacebar. The second day. Quote, it is hard to prevent the impression of a faint, malign odor about the village street, as of the massed mold and decay of centuries. It is always a relief to get clear of this place. HP. Wake up!
Yeah.
Steam billows gently by, and you can hear the sound of running water coming from the back.
There was a reference to the fly buzzing behind you in that text that recalled the fly that buzzes around in the real estate office that we didn't see enough of. But I think that's a really cool fly.
Flies a thing in Lovecraft generally? I think they're a Beelzebub thing in general, but
Really?
yeah, all of the flies.
I think Ryan just like flies a lot in some context.
Oh, I know what you mean. Hey, you've got a painting of a fly behind you.
I do. And that's
Show
like
everyone
maybe-
that painting.
Hang on, I'm gonna pull it off the thing real quick because it's kind of back there real quick. But
Oh, yeah.
it's not a very good spot for it. This is a Ryan's fly painting that he made.
Nice.
That,
The scholarly fly, I don't feel threatened by it.
That is the Fly Bible that it's reading from
Yes.
my short story about the Fly Bible called Codex Muscarum. It was a scary story about a fly Bible.
terrifying.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
Bible.
So,
I'm saying there's a precedent for Ryan's interest in flies.
I think that we can trace my interest in flies to Anchorhead, though,
Really?
because in Anchorhead you get to appreciate a fly academically as a source of fear and dread and buzzing around, whereas real flies are actually awful and I never want to think about them. So, yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Zach, you wake up.
I wake up.
Steam billows gently by, and you can hear the sound of running water coming from the bathroom.
I typed murder at the prompt, and something stupid happened. If you want to try it, you know.
At this prompt?
Yeah, just type murder. It's stupid.
Yeah!
Yay! That's fantastic.
That's the best thing.
It's really not. So for those of you playing at home, the response to just typing murder is murder, Michael's pants. Violence isn't the answer to this one.
The violence isn't the answer to this one response. Assumes that you're trying to solve a puzzle.
Which is a safe assumption at this stage.
Doesn't it just always say that?
Oh yeah. That's a default answer to trying to attack anything in any form. But,
no, there was an interesting discussion about this on the Infit forums a year or so ago about about the default library messages, which basically not just come from Graham Nelson, but specifically come from curses. And I always interpreted the one in the sentence "violence isn't the answer to this one" just to be sort of a general to like this game maybe, or this entire situation, as opposed to this particular thing that you're trying to do, which apparently is how most people read it. But I always read it as like, no, this is not a violent game.
Oh.
I think that is a plausible reading.
I like it better assuming that it's a puzzle. Because, I don't know, typically someone who's going through, who's doing a good job should change the default response anyway. And they'll change it to something that makes any dang sense in that situation.
Which is apparently easier now with the latest Inform 7 that I have not played with at all, but I've admired its icon.
I have not figured that out yet. It involves some letters.
The icon is really cool. I want a high-res version of that icon.
The thing that bothers me about the icon is that the drop shadow under it follows the contours of the map, so it only makes sense if the crooked map is itself on a crooked surface.
It's the sort of thing that Mac people really, really care about, isn't it?
I mostly am sad that all my code is broken, and every time I launch it, I'm like, oh, I should probably get this to compile in the new version.
Onward!
Anyway, by the way, we're wearing our wedding ring. That's it.
Hey.
You know.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, we can put on Michael's pants because that's been revealed.
Yes.
Put on pants.
Oh, I've never tried to put on a pants.
Oh, plot.
Transport? What?
They're the same khakis he
You
usually
pick up Michael's
Oh,
pants.
you noticed something in the back pocket of his pants. I should also note to the readers at home, Michael's a good deal taller than we are, and we would look pretty silly wearing his pants.
Just buy 2 pants.
That's the idea.
The professional
want to look
that is
silly.
not revealed to us.
Excellent.
Yeah.
They have enormous, comically red patches on them.
Michael's wallet. Well, this is a marriage based on trust. What do you guys want to do with his wallet?
Let me hold the umbrella, will you?
Yoink!
With a
When I
nervous
was-
glance toward the bathroom, you slipped the wallet from Michael's pants. Your score has gone down 10 points.
What?
Not really. Not really.
No.
When I first played this, I was definitely too young to consider that these actions had any implications whatsoever. I was just, well, I'm playing a text adventure. I'd better, take everything I see and look in everything, and so that this stuff would have any emotional resonance did not click.
Oh. French tickless, cool, another inventory item.
Right.
Again?
I don't know that any player would realistically say, well, I'm not going to look through my husband's stuff. Who do you take me for, a computer game? When it's like, you must paw and dig through every available container. That's just how
Says the
life works.
person who wrote the game
Anything
down
gets on
clearly
there down.
throwing the thing into the thing.
When it says with a nervous glance toward the bathroom, though, that's supposed to, like, that is answering your players, I always look in everything, and it's answering that instinct with a sentence about what this action should mean to you.
Right, but it doesn't say like if you try to beat up Michael, it says you would never think about hurting your husband. But it doesn't say you would never think about looking through your husband's wallet because I guess you were looking through his wallet now. There we are.
He is pretty creepy and distant.
I'd also point out that he's broke because if you search the wallet, all he's got is his faculty card. Nothing else in here.
He's an academic,
I
okay?
guess.
Yeah.
I mean, he seems kind of just like a. I mean, obviously there's a lot more to it, but he seems kind of just so far as kind of a game construct. And at that point, I would think that I'm not following along with you guys. I earlier made an error and deleted the message and did a couple other things and I couldn't undo that far. So I haven't been following along with you guys in the actual text of it. But, I mean, from my perspective, he seems kind of like a game construct anyways, so at that point I'm kind of going, okay, what can I get out of him? So grabbing the wallet and looting it for potential items is exactly where my head goes.
No, I think you've got a point because, like, from the text we've seen so far, unless we're being especially critical readers, I think all we know about Michael is that he's kind of absent-minded. I don't think that the rest of what we are reading into it is supported by the text that we've seen so far.
However,
I just initiated a text dump.
Uh-oh. What did you do?
I took the faculty card. I don't even know if I want to read this paragraph, although it's really interesting. This paragraph that's coming up, like, it's sort of, I don't know. Let me just read it. So the shower suddenly stops. Quickly, you palm the card, replace the wallet, and arrange the pants the way you found them. A moment later, Michael emerges from the bathroom, toweling his hair. My, don't you look tempting this morning, he says, giving you a kiss. I'm not going to do the accent, I'm sorry. He tosses the towel back into the bathroom and gets dressed. I think I'm going to stay home and get some writing done. I don't actually start work until tomorrow, so he kisses you on the cheek as he walks out into the hall. If you go out today, see if you can find a paper. I want to learn as much as I can about this town. So it's like we kind of went from like, my, don't you seem, tempting today, and like, I'm going to go work now. By the way, I'd just like to remind you guys, wearing my wedding ring. That's it.
Yeah.
He's like, gotta go to work now, get me a paper. Anyway.
also a sandwich.
Oh, and oh, funny. He looks at you for a moment, and his voice becomes serious. I love you, hon. You know that, don't you? I really want us to try and be happy here. Then he turns and pads down the hall. Didn't even give me a response to say, yeah, I didn't actually know that you love me. Anyway, you take a deep breath as he goes. You've never lied to Michael or hidden anything from him before. Ever. Now, hardly 2 days into your new life, you're already sneaking through his wallet. Oh yeah, you're off to a great start. So if we hadn't searched his pants, would he just have stayed in the bathroom forever?
Well, okay.
I know that if you don't do, more time passes and I remember he, sings and quotes movies and stuff, and you can just listen to him do that.
What?
Shower. Oh, yeah. do we want to undo Get Card and just wait and listen to him? I think he starts quoting Taxi Driver, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I just got... You can hear Michael splashing around noisily enjoying his shower. I wonder if I go into the bathroom. Can I... The bathroom is occupied at the moment.
He starts getting Scorsese, is all I'm saying.
I'm not getting any of that.
I get a lot of time passing.
Were you playing the enhanced version?
Is that maybe a different day?
Yeah, I dreamt it. Bathroom is occupied at the moment. Mike, hi. Shouldn't you get dressed first? Can you get dressed and walk around the house?
In what? Aren't our clothes in the bathroom?
Are they? No, I took my clothes into the bedroom when I was running around trying to find my key.
You did.
I left the clothes in the bathroom. And
I'm in a different dimension than y'all.
So when you see get dressed, it says sure as soon as you find your clothes.
which is pretty
so
good.
I put my clothes on, I went south, and Michael will be out of the shower any minute now. He'll be awfully suspicious if he finds his pants or his wallet inexplicably missing.
Oh, I put all that back.
Yeah, put wallet and pants. Why is his pants missing?
I'm totally stuck. Go south, shouldn't you get dressed first? Get dressed, sure, as soon as you find your clothes. West, the bathroom is occupied at the moment. Right?
Yeah, you have to.
His pants like a good little woman and get it over with.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
That is so many words.
But if the
What have you got, Ryan? You look like you got something. Now.
I've got the clothes stuck in the bathroom, so I can't do anything.
Yeah, me too.
But Jason, you can move around the house.
Yeah, I went down.
Hard.
I went downstairs and I got. You hear the shower turn off upstairs, and then Michael moving around, getting dressed. His footsteps thump loudly on the hardwood floor as he
You know what,
walks
Jason?
down the upstairs hall towards the study.
You, I think, have put the game in an unwinnable state.
Really?
Because you're going to need the card eventually, right?
I think there's actually an alternative solution to the card getting.
Oh, okay.
I think it turns up later in the game if you don't get it at this point.
Well, that's good to know.
Yay,
I'm sure
I'm
there are.
I want to unpack my luggage.
Yeah.
What do you want to unpack? I want to unpack my luggage. That's what. Honestly, you just can't muster enough motivation. Oh, I guess I'll just stare at it forlornly then. It'll unpack itself. That's how moving works, right?
Yep. Yep.
I'm going to push the luggage. Maybe I can push it around aimlessly like those cans. No, you can't push it either.
So what do we... Okay, back on track. What are we doing?
We are going to exit the house, and then I think Michael told us to find him a newspaper.
Okay.
How extensive is the house? I know when you went in, there wasn't much of an explanation for. It was kind of just upstairs in the bathroom.
Yeah, I found a kitchen, y'all, and a flashlight.
Is there a lot to the house? I kind of imagine there is.
There is a lot to the house. When you come in at the night before, it's all dark and you can't move around. But
Right,
now that
because
it's
they don't want you going anywhere else. But
now there's plenty to see. I am still in the bathroom getting dressed, and I noticed that I can take the towel, which is going to turn out to be super useful
that's valuable.
when I need to, get the babble fish.
Make sure you grab the lint. I think.
The buffered analgesic?
Never beat that game.
Who has?
I actually had that game on an Apple IIe. Never understood it because it was well before I read the books.
It's a great game. I'm having a Jason McIntosh moment in the bathroom.
Do I want to know?
So, take all. Towel, you pick up the towel, it's still a little damp from Michael's shower, but otherwise it's perfectly ordinary bath towel. Trench coat taken, styrofoam cup taken, umbrella, your hands are full. Key ring, typewritten notice, clothes, your hands are full. Get dressed. First taking the clothes, your hands are full. So
You have to
get
the trench coat, because that's your hold all.
I know. I tried take all thinking that half the stuff would be in my coat, and it's...
You grab your coat first and then everything.
Someone in the future will invent an extension that processes that kind of thing for you.
No, wouldn't that be amazing?
Seems like a lot of work, though. I'm in the sitting room where there's a sofa and a rug and a marble fireplace.
Where is that?
Downstairs.
Downstairs and to the east of the foyer. And the foyer lies to the west, and the doorway, there's a fireplace. Your brief sense of comfort quickly drains away, however, as you become aware of the icy and maniacal stare emanating from the great portrait hanging over the mantelpiece. Under the malefic gaze of those red-rimmed eyes, the most comforting thought you can muster is that of immediate fright.
On the sofa is a family album.
On the sofa is a family album, which is super important. Get album. Examine it.
Oh, interesting. In this room, if you try to take all, it stops you because you'll have to be more specific about which objects you need. So upstairs it works, and down here it doesn't. So just kind of interesting. Yeah.
That's not the response I get after having taken the album. So it assumes that I mean the portrait, which is just as odd. But if a subtle movement from the portrait makes you turn. For a moment, it seems like the eyes are looking directly at you, but it's only a trick of the light. Nothing creepy is going on.
So, the album. It's a slim, hardbound volume in dark leather, unadorned except for the name Burlak embossed on the front. Glancing at the title page, you notice two details. One, the book was self-published, and two, it was published in 1944. So it's a good bet that Edward Burlak and his family aren't mentioned here.
The man in the portrait is the apotheosis of everything cruel and inhuman that you have ever laid eyes upon. His archaic Puritan dress would indicate that he must have lived a very long time ago. Perhaps he was the founder of the Verlac family in this region. If so, it's no wonder they all wound up murdered or mad. The red-rimmed eyes glaring down from his gaunt and haggard face seem to blaze with a terrible insanity. There is nothing regal, fatherly, or dignified about this portrait. It is the essence of raving, gibbering evil caught on canvas.
So, just slide that in there.
Take portrait, obviously. You can't. I'm going to need it
Do you
later.
get something different than fixed in place?
That's fixed in place, and I get another message about how a subtle movement makes me turn.
He hasn't done that to us.
Well, I am the crazy person playing the game.
Yeah. Should have that checked out.
So, the rest of the house?
Yes. Oh, we're going to want to look people up in this album when we...
know some names to look up.
Yeah. If I go north, I'm in the gallery. I remember this room because there are paintings, and they're lining the walls, and they're all done by the same artist. And if I examine a painting, there's a lot of text, but I better read it. All of them are bizarre, and most of them border on the grotesque. Alien landscapes peopled by writhing, malformed creatures, ancient temples built in strange, eye-bending architectures, monstrous beasts crawling through the shadows that cannot quite conceal their disturbingly human shapes. These seem to make up the bulk of the painting's subject matter. And yet, despite the fantastical nature of the images painted, the style is neither abstract nor surreal. In fact, the level of detail approaches the photorealistic. Excruciating attention has been paid to light, shadows, and textures. Even the alien creatures are depicted with gruesome anatomical accuracy. It is as though the artist had worked from actual living models rather than from what must have been a thoroughly deranged imagination, and the overall effect is rather chilling. One scene in particular catches your eye.
It's amazing that when I was 17, I didn't, regard this as overwriting.
I can understand that, because when I was 17, I would have said, wow, this is spooky, but I would not have thought about it that much.
I thought it was spooky, but I was driving cross country in the dark in the rain while it was being written on Palm Pilot, so
yeah,
that contributed, I suspect.
That was the thing you were worrying about.
Yeah.
For some reason, I assumed that you were driving across the country in broad daylight in the desert.
It was a multi-day trip. We were driving from Georgia to Alaska.
No,
goodness. Oh, wow.
From New York to Tennessee.
Wow.
It was a long trip.
It was nearly.
That's huge.
So, you want me to read the scene?
This is a random thing, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
but
is
you
it?
should read what you get.
A group of white men in Revolutionary period clothing taking prisoner a group of Native Americans. The exact situation is unclear. The white men stand around with muskets, threatening, while the natives, who are chained together, file into a fenced enclosure, as though being herded into a compound. In the extreme background, at the far end of the enclosure, stands a large brick building. Dark, grainy smoke billows up from the two chimneys rising above the structure. Leaning very close, you can just make out another group of natives being herded into the structure by more of the white men. You shake yourself suddenly and realize you've been staring intently at the painting for minutes on end. You step back and rub your tired eyes. When you look again, however, the picture you were just examining is no longer in front of you. None of the other paintings have moved as far as you can tell, but that particular scene seems to have disappeared without leaving so much as a blank space on the wall. What do you have, Ryan?
Actually, I think we hit the jackpot as far as the scenes to compare to each other, because mine says, a somewhat Boschian scene, it's Bosch and not Bosch, right? Hieronymus? Depicting a line of naked, emaciated men, their ankles shackled and chained together, shuffling forward to offer obeisance to the glowing maw of an enormous furnace. The men are malnourished and covered with terrible burns. The foremost is kneeling, offering something, you can't make out what, up to the mouth of flames, while the rest stand back as far as they are able, their heads bowed in what appears to be fear and penitence. It isn't clear where this is supposed to be taking place. Beyond the fiery glow there is nothing but soot-filled Stygian blackness. An artist's rendition of hell, perhaps? For some reason, you are reminded of old photographs of the Nazi death camps, in which Jews were forced to feed the ovens with the corpses of their own.
For some reason. I don't know why you would think of that from the description you read. For some reason.
So our moral is that, that Puritans invented Auschwitz.
That is the moral. And then the same message about you shake yourself suddenly, and etc.
I got yet another message.
Tell us all about it.
Okay. Examine scene. A madman, clad only in a filthy, ragged loincloth, his thin body covered with dirt and sores, dances wildly on a precipice between two massive metal pillars. His long gray hair whips about his face in an unseen wind. Behind him, beyond the precipice, violet clouds seethe and roil. He seems to be playing some strange sort of wind instrument like a flute, making the whole scene look oddly like a macabre Jethro Tull album cover.
Really?
But no Holocaust, right? So that's like a plus.
Nope, you're just thick as a brick. That's all you get.
You know what's interesting though? I wish Zach, did you get caught up?
No, I'm gonna have homework afterward on here.
I mean, the only reason I bring it up is I got a scene, Ryan got a scene, Jason got a scene.
I'll keep that in mind though. I'm gonna write that down.
If you say X scene again, it just says you search the paintings thoroughly but cannot find the scene you saw earlier. So you get one and that's it. You're cut off.
I think you get one a day.
Is it one a day?
Something like that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I just went south and then north again, and now I get a new one.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh okay.
From the scene dispenser. There's your babblefish. Enjoy.
I forgot to put the junk mail on top of the thing.
Oh, the dog.
Do we want to show the other scenes we saw, or do we care?
I'm looking at this one and trying to see if it's worth reading. This one is too gross to read out loud.
Really?
I'm saying that, for the benefit of I can't believe that anyone's going to watch this, and I can't believe that Google Plus will actually archive 2 hours of video for any human. So, in deference to imaginary people who would watch this later, I'm doing the thing where it's scarier because you don't know what it is, and not.
Can
really.
you imagine the targeted ads we are going to get after this?
Oh.
So yes, you are. Is your husband cheating on you? And also, death camp paraphernalia.
And Jethro Tull albums.
Like flutes. Well, no, I have. Well, I mean, mine's kind of interesting actually,
Okay.
because it juxtaposes history from the area with something we saw earlier in the game.
Different.
So, a group of primitive tribesmen dance within a ring of standing stones beneath a lightning-streaked sky. Their dress and some of the fetishes they carry, feathers, rattles, ceremonial masks, all seem to represent a Native American culture. The men themselves are strange. They look truly savage and degenerate in a way that you don't often see Native Americans depicted. Peering closely, you can see that some of them even appear to be deformed. Overlooking the dance stands a tall obelisk on a hill, silhouetted against the storm clouds above. The artist added a strange effect to the cloud formations directly above the obelisk. The color and shading seem to suggest a red, baleful eye looking down upon the strange ritual below. So I don't know if that's our obelisk from earlier.
This was before the Lord of the Rings movie. I should say.
Oh man, Peter Jackson totally ripped off Michael Gentry? Not good.
Onward.
I'm in the kitchen. Someone else was in the kitchen before, right?
The kitchen.
Jason, I think was.
I was, yeah, there's a kitchen. I'm just wondering how much of that passage represents a little bit of subtle, of the author of this game distancing himself a little bit from Lovecraft, who, from what I understand of him, would have not suggested that the men, the degenerate, deformed men dancing around in this horrible subhuman way were anything other than not non-white people. Just ew, gross. Whereas the implication in this is that no, they're not Native Americans. They're something else entirely.
Well, yeah. I mean, Lovecraft would never have had a female protagonist either. So I think
we've blown it from the start, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's really odd, the places where or like the weird changing tracks that happens sometimes within a single description of aping Lovecraft and trying to do one's own thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, Lovecraft is a hard thing to tackle if you're trying to not be an ass, because largely that is what Lovecraft was. So.
There is my fellow Bostonian Zoe Quenzel did make the online game, which you can find Lovecraft or Hitler. It's a quiz where you have to identify quotes. Exercise left for the reader.
So I went to the kitchen. I found a flashlight, battery-powered, waterproof.
Oh, good, it's waterproof.
Another odd feeling of gloom.
Totally.
Gloom is a theme.
Is this like, are they going to use gloom too much until it
I am already
into parody?
oversaturated with my gloom, actually.
Are you going to have to put transparent cards smelling of silicone?
That's right. Like a.
Open your flashlight. There's no point in taking the batteries out. You don't have the spares anyway.
Ew.
I mean, this is probably going to be one of those limited time light sources, isn't it?
Possibly. We're deep middle school here, you realize. So deep. Oh, we got some. Did we get some matches? We got some fucking matches, man.
I have some matches.
Oh, nice.
X drawers, you
Yep.
can't see any such thing. Open cabinets. The cabinets are not, after all, still stocked. Much to your relief, there's nothing in there but an old book of matches.
Yoink.
You
There
pick
are
up matches, and a label on the side reads "Water-resistant matches. Strike on cover." 6 left.
Ooh. Let's see. If I go south, there's a dining room, and I feel like there was something in here. China cupboard. This is touching a memory. X cupboard. It's a free open cupboard. The cupboard is empty. The china must have been auctioned off in the confusion before Michael was contacted, perhaps. Down at the bottom of the cupboard is a velvet lining where the silverware would usually be kept.
Yoink!
Remove lining. You're not wearing that.
Searchlight.
Pull lining. Hey! A thin, palm-sized journal. Intrigued, you pull the little book free. I don't like
very much a
this.
scattered diary pages sort of game.
I do not like that the game tells me that I'm intrigued.
You don't like that?
No,
And
I prefer it when the game talks about
I mean,
their emotions.
Earlier we didn't, we were worried about taking Michael's wallet. Now we're intrigued. I mean, are you wanting it to be an agric cap, however you pronounce that, where ageless, genderless, that sort of thing. I mean, like if you're gonna get that it's the wife, and that like there's you're occupying the mind of character. You get some of what's on board with that.
Well, to be
But-
fair, no, go ahead.
In the specific case of the emotion of intriguedness, that's a reaction that the player should be allowed to own, because that's a place where they should be lining up.
Yeah, I definitely feel that there are definitely some things you should not be allowed to comment on about your own work. Like, when you're writing your own blurb for a game, you should not say, a beautiful work of lyrical ingenuity, because, I mean...
So you should have other people write your blurbs for you, is what you're
Yes, you
saying.
should.
Okay.
And you should also not comment on things within your game as if, you shouldn't call things beautiful, because that's just saying my writing's really good. You should all be, admiring my work right now.
Right now I'm admiring the very long text dump that comes from reading the journal.
Oh no. Okay. Oh, read it. Read and examine are different things.
Yeah. So examine it's a slim little book no bigger than your hand, bound in imitation leather. The mice have really been at it. Most of the pages have been chewed away. Convenient. And then read journal. It's a slim little book, no bigger than blah 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 blah. What's left in the journal? Read.
Hey, Tablesaw.
Hey, Tablesaw, how's it going?
Hey, Saw.
Onward.
So, what's left in the journal reads, desperate. Went back to the old twisting lane and found only a blank wall. Without the amulet, however, or how can I resist? Bottles. Getting worse. People I have never met smile knowingly at me in the street. The police believe I'm a child molester, but have brought no charges against me as yet. Why? Head hurts all the time. I have turned the cellar upside down. Damn it all, where is it? Dreamed of father again. Dreamed of grandfather. Those horrible, red-rimmed eyes. Into the safe, finally. 143855. Somebody write it down. Won't forget that soon. Ha! Cannot discover entrance in the cellar! Triple exclamation point. Secret eludes me still, but I will find it! Triple exclamation point. The clue is in their names. That pestilential procession of names. Pestilential procession. I didn't make that up. It really says that. If I could only... The text breaks off as several more pages are missing. The last fragmented entry reads, will fail. There is no recourse left. I know what I must do. Now, Julia. Write down that combination.
You can go ahead and write down that combination. I would recommend it, but for me it says 61144.
Ooh.
Oh!
Randomized.
You know what? I wish that Table Saw had stuck around for that revelation. 'Cause that
He's out.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. Different for everybody. Is there save on the website?
Parchment.
On Parchment?
Also.
You're playing
Yeah,
online
if you
rather
hit
than...
save, it gives you a bookmark that you then bookmark. I think the last time I...
Oh, if you hit save? I'm a little afraid to do it for fear that it'll crash everything.
I'll do it. We'll see what happens.
I'm always terrified of
I'm
trying to
gonna
save in
What's the
parchment.
worst that could happen, man?
If you type save, your location bar in your browser turns into a giant ridiculous string, which you can
Oh, yeah.
We should copy and paste.
Nice.
Okay.
Blended.
Have you seen how they do it in Quicks?
Quiche.
It's really nice.
Quickie.
It's pronounced quiche, actually.
I don't think so. That sounds like a lie told by a liar.
That
Are you
hangs out with Zarf all the time.
Are you calling
How
Aaron-
would he know?
Are you calling Aaron Reed a liar?
I believe that you guys would say anything to make me feel dumb.
No, never would.
Oh,
These
okay.
two would, though.
Cable saw a tweet. He's not in a good position to participate fully or even listen, and wishes that we have fun. So there you go.
Okay, so Table Saw is like a real person and not just a rando who fell into the chat.
He is the table of the saw.
We are
Yes.
we are aware of his existence.
Okay. Because I've had that before with public hangouts where someone just comes in and says, "Hey, I saw this hangout with public. Who are you and what are you doing?"
Oh, no,
There's
he's
no-
very much in it, yeah.
Yeah.
He used to be an IFMUD regular. Yeah.
Cool.
I did not know that, actually. I know him. Let's not spend the rest of this time talking about our friend Tables. Good guy. Let's leave it at that.
Okay, so we're saved. That's good. It is also 10 o'clock on a school night.
Uh-huh.
For me,
This is-
not for you.
Yeah, and like we've been playing for like 2 hours. I think that we should quit. Probably we should quit now instead of jumping into a puzzle or something, because we seem to be on that precipice. So,
Like, when do you guys normally do this? Didn't even know this was a thing.
this wasn't a thing until just today.
It was an impromptu thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, we might do this again.
Yeah, I messed around over my Christmas break with like trying to do like a Twitch broadcast of a text game, and I could not. I have a Mac, so that automatically puts me in a bad situation.
Yeah, Twitch is not cool about Macs.
I could kind of sort of get it to broadcast something that looked like something, but it just was not feasible.
My plan originally was to broadcast on Twitch just a black screen and just be talking, and I thought that that would convey the correct atmosphere for enjoying Anchorhead. I think this is better, though, because where I would be terrified, I'm now in a very good mood, having talked to a bunch of nice people while playing this game, and have it, it's better this way.
Thank you, sir. Same.
Good on ya.
Well, conveniently, two of us have just saved, and I guess other people should save in case this gets picked back up.
All right.
I'm gonna have some homework ahead of me to get caught up for next time when we do this.
Good luck with that.
I've got kind of a map going. It's in
Oh.
like 3 different chunks. From when we were in, at one point, I've got a beginning one, I've got a beginning of the town, and then I have a final of the town. And they don't all sync up correctly, so that's going to be kind of fun deciphering this. And it's on the back of the letter, so my notebook's gone. I gotta find my notebook. So that's going to be kind of fun figuring that out.
It's in your trench coat in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. Left it in the bathroom.
Well, this was a pleasant surprise to come home from a business meeting and take part in an impromptu Anchorhead.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to leave this. Oh, I need to hit the stop broadcast. So when I say that, everyone will stop to be. So
Bye.
Have a good night.
see you later, friends.
Good
Look at
night.
the camera. Look at the camera. Bye.